So hello, my name is Julie, I'm French. So sorry for this talk, it will be in English because the only sentence I know in German is "Willst du mit mir schlafen?" I learned with German tourists in southern France and no, I think it's not good for here. So I was journalist during 12 years and I spent 4 years in 60 countries like Sudan, Egypt, Syria, when shitty stuff happens. Lots of works. Sometimes I love to collect 50k modems to send in shitty countries. I learned to use that in Egypt during revolution when they cut internet and mobile phone. We have to connect with 50k modem in old line telephone style. And I also participate in a non-profit provider, ISP. And I'm French. So, a journalist. When you're a journalist in foreign country, especially in dangerous place, you have to know the tools you're using. Why? Just because if you don't know how it works, you can have really big problem. You or your sources. I was French in those countries, so I can have problems, but the bigger problems I can have is they put me in a plane and I go back to France. My sources can be arrested, can be tortured, can die. So it's not important to protect sources. It's more than important because they can die. So you have to know your tools. Because if you don't like how your computer works, you don't know if all you put inside can be protected. So that's normal, it can be dangerous for your sources. And everybody told me in France, but that's in shitty countries, there is no problem here. In France, we don't have problem, we are free, press is free, that's like democracy. But those days, there is a new law talking about terrorism. They want to block internet websites and they want sometimes to monitor the traffic like DPI, Deep Packet Inspection, I think you know what it is, to see what you are doing online if you don't visit terrorist websites. I go like every day on websites in Arabic. I spend years in some shitty countries, so maybe they will arrest they will arrest me. And so if they can see what you are doing online, they can see who you contact. If you don't encrypt your traffic, they can see all you're doing. So that's again a problem for your sources. And we are in France. And they say, no, but that's because of terrorism. We have to protect our country. Yes, but in 1886, it was an attempt in Paris. Internet didn't exist at this time. So the problem is not from internet. I don't know if you know La Quadrature du Net. It's association, it's a group. They are fighting against ACTA, against lots of problems Europe wants to do on internet. And now there is a new website against this new law, so I invite you to look at that and to participate, because it's really crazy for people, because they want to monitor all we are doing, and more for journalists because of sources. So, why you have to know your tools? First, because if you don't know how your computer works, you can't protect your source. You can't cover traces, you can't cover data, you can't protect data. And if you don't use free software, how can you do that? For Years ago, I had my Windows, I just click, that's working, and yeah, oh, that's magic. No, that's not magic. And maybe I can't see if my free software is doing something bad. But friends can do. I can ask if all is okay. So you can know if you use free software if what you're doing is secure for your contacts or no. With Windows, you can't. And from student files, I invite you, if you don't know that, to look the conference made by Jacob Appelbaum in last winter in Hamburg, because he's talking about that. When you buy a computer, sometimes in the hardware you can have shitty stuff, so that's important to know too. I invite you to look at this conference. So, first step, having your own server. If you want to protect your data, you say, okay, I will create my own server, encrypting all. And so, where can I host? In my place, in a data center, on a friend's place. And first, when you're a journalist, first problem is using command line to join your server and to admin. So first you have to learn command line. Okay. Second, you have to know about security. Okay. So I begin with friends who said, okay, I will give you a part of my server and you can manage that before you have your own. Okay, good idea. I'll do that. I put my website, I put my IRC client, some stuff. That's good to learn at the beginning, to start, to join, like with SSH connection. Sorry with that. You can do a lot of things learning, okay, but I can't put professional data on it. Why? Because I don't know, my friend is my friend. Okay, I love him, but if he can access to this data, maybe he will be good with that. But if someone can access to his computer and so access to my data, there is a problem. When you are a journalist, if anyone can access to this server, data are not protected. So my sources are not protected. So I can't put professional data on this server. Okay, I will have mine. But if I have mine, I must doing lots and lots of things, because you have to learn how to encrypt this server. You have to transfer data. If you don't want to have something on your computer, that's what I'm doing. At the beginning, I used rsync. It was my favorite command. Really love that. Why? Because it's good when you are traveling. If they want to look at your computer, you have nothing on it. All is on your server. You push everything with this command on the good folder at home, at the data center, and you have nothing on your computer. That's really good. But, question. Friend told me about the bash history. What is the bash history? I learned command line, I encrypt files, but I don't know what is bash history. Because if I don't kill this command in my bash history, if the police or people take my computer, they can see I'm using rsync command and see where is my server and try to connect. Okay, so that's okay. After months and months, I can learn. I will modify my bash history. So this is Wikipedia. That's in French, so you don't understand. But But you have to know, I am French and I don't understand. So, Bash history. It was crazy. I spent maybe 2 or 3 weeks to can understand what is this shit and to learn how to kill some commands on it. That's another step. And the problem is, I think, every step you're doing for security, everything you're doing good, create a new problem. Okay, I use async to don't have data on my computer. I'm proud. I learned that, but oh no, shit, there is a new problem with Bash history. Okay, and after another problem, and after another problem. Every step is a new problem. And I can say thank you to all my friends who help me every time I ask questions, and I ask a lot. And you are working in computer science, you are developing, you are creating stuff. Don't forget, when someone asks you a question, that's really easy for you to answer, but that's really, really big for him or for her if you answer. If you say nothing, I say, okay, I will stop because I don't understand. If someone tell me, okay, look at this, look at that, maybe you can learn with that, I will continue. And so you are responsible about your friends' securities, about some journalists' security when they come to ask you some questions. And that's really, really important for me to tell that. And if my friends didn't help me sometimes, I think I stop really, really early before to learn all I know now. We'll talk about cards, flashcards. You have your pictures, you have the sounds. I love to record sounds and for the radio too. People say, okay, just I delete and it's okay. No. If you just delete, everybody can find your data. So you have to cover all randomly. I like this command. Yeah, that's easy. That's really easy to do. But in France, no one knows that. People just delete. But you can put people in danger with that. Transferring data, that's good, but there is again a problem. I transfer data, that's good, there is no problem, I have nothing on my computer. Yeah, I have something on my computer. If I open my files, there is metadata. Lots and lots of metadata. That can be the time I record videos or sounds, the GPS position in some cameras, the device, and so they can find your sources, they can find the people you interview. And that's really, really important to ripe your disk because of that. Just having encrypted folders, that's good. But if you have metadata out of these encrypted folders and they can find people, there is again a problem. Flash keys is a new fashion style. When you go to a press conference, they give you flash keys, there is a communique inside, there is pictures, there is all you need for your article. And they say, okay, that's so good. And the problem when you are to press conference, you see all the journalists just taking the flash key and putting in the computer like that. Say, okay, guys, be careful. Sometimes in the PDF file, you can have exe file, and so you can easily have a malware, you can easily have problems or something spying your computer. there is no problem. Guy, you are a journalist, you are in a place with lots of journalists. And if you are in a shitty country, or in France, they can try to monitor yourself, your computer. And so the solution I found, I don't know if it's the best solutions. I learn every day and I'm a Padawan, I'm learning again. And if after this talk you have ideas for me, you can give me and share. It will be so good. So I have a Raspberry Pi, and that's really good. I have an OS just for trying my USB, my flash keys. So I mount that and I try if there is no hidden exit. I found one time, but that's good to protect yourself. The idea is to try your flash keys before to put on your computer, because yeah, that's dangerous for monitoring. So we have a lot of things. So, and in the same time, you can learn to use GPT, to use Pidgin with OTR, lots of things, to use Mumble. Okay, so you connect to your server with SSH connection. SSH. You encrypt your folders on your server, on your computer, and you create encrypted files in encrypted folders, in an encrypted disk. So you say, okay, that's okay. You try to level up your security level. You check, yeah, that's important when you have a server and even on a computer, to check folder permissions. Because that's the same. If everybody can open your folders or can write or read inside, there is a problem. So you must be the owner, and you, and just you, must have the permission to do everything. And who has access to this server? That's every time the same question. If you are in a data center, or if that's in your home, even if that's in your home, you can have your own server or a NAS in your living room. If you host people, I'm doing couchsurfing. So I host people every time in Paris. So if you're in couchsurfing, you can come in my home. But if you have your own server in the living room, just people can come. If people can come and put a flash key or just connect to your server, there is a problem. When you are a journalist, there is a problem because yes, they can access to your professional data. Every time there is the same problem. But, when you are journalists and when you don't want to spend months and months and months and months to learn all of that, and months and months and months again, because I didn't finish, there is a solution. Using tails. That's the first step. In France, you have two ways of thinking. Some people say, okay, people must create tools like tails, really useful for journalists for their security. So I say, okay, that's a good idea. But if every time you give user-friendly tools and people don't know how it works, yes, they will use, but they won't understand. And if they don't understand, they can't protect themselves in an emergency, and they can't protect their sources in an emergency. The best way is to learn how it works. That's long, that's hard, that's not funny, but that's the best way to protect sources and to protect your world. And people can die. So that's important. So tails is really good. That's a really good tool. You can transfer data, you can use rsyncs, my favorite command. You can create sounds if you have to interview for radio with Audacity. There is nothing on the hard disk. So everything is okay. The only problems I found with Tails is when you go in a shitty country in a cyber cafe, you must restart the computer and so guys can see you are doing something. But that's the only problem. With your own computer, that's really, really, really good. But that's a tool, but the bigger problem in security is between the computer and the chair. The bigger problem of security every time is me. So even if I use Tails, if I'm talking in a cafe with a friend about my sources and people can listen, I can use Tails, but I won't protect people if I'm talking. So every time you have to think about that. You have to think about using tools. Okay, you can create lots of tools, useful and really good, like Tails, but it doesn't replace being clever and thinking about protecting yourself, your sources, every day, every time. And after all of that, months and months and months and months learning, I have again, other questions. Like, I have SSH key, private key, but when you have a server, what is the best way? Using a key and I just can't connect with my own computer, or putting a passphrase on my server and can't connect everywhere? Could be interesting in emergency if I want to go to a cyber cafe or stuff like that and I don't have my computer. I don't know, because private key is more secure. But if I want to have my private key everywhere, to can connect everywhere, even in another computer, can I use Lux to encrypt folder to put my keys? But no, that's not good to have my keys everywhere with me in my phone or in a flash key. So no, bad idea. Okay, so I can use live distro like Tails. Okay, but if I put my private keys in a flash key, can I mount my flash key on this live distro? Okay, and that's what I say. Every time you have something new, every time you learn a new command, every time you resolve a problem of security, there is again new questions and new problems, and it never ends. And that's just what I want to say. Thank you. Maybe you have questions. Maybe you want to help me and help journalists. Or maybe you have questions. Yeah, here.
There's one thing I think you didn't mention. I don't know if you do instant messaging with people.
Yeah, like with a pigeon and OTR. Yeah.
Please make sure that your software is not storing the conversations.
Yeah.
I try to tell people on a daily basis, people I communicate with, please turn on log. It's just data retention, it's nothing else. But for journalists, it can be a better provider.
That's true. And just a question here. Who is using OTR with instant message? Okay. But you're using OTR, that's good, but are you sure? Who is sure about all his contacts? No one puts the hands up? So yeah, that's every time a new problem. Yeah, here, it was a question? Ah, yeah, you are the one. Yeah. Sorry, can you just talk? Ah, répète. Mais laquelle? Celle que moi j'ai posée ou celle du monsieur? Celle que le monsieur a posée? Celle? Ah, yeah, I said, sorry. French team, baguette power. Yes, I just asked who here use OTR to encrypt the instant messaging. Everybody put the hands up, and after I said, okay, who here is sure about the identity of his contact? And one guy just put the hands up, and two guys put the hands up. Yeah, maybe they're friends, and they just met and they change the contact. Yeah. Maybe a third one will enter in the group. So, any question? Yes?
Have you used the smart card recently to encrypt your files and store your SSH key?
I don't use that. I'm trying token in those days. I'm beginning. I don't know, what is it? Maybe you can...
I can show you afterwards. So basically, it's just a smart card that stores up to 3 keys.
Okay.
Generate keys on the card.
Okay.
This one is from FSFE. So as you promote the free software in Europe, maybe you want to join and get one free. So very,
If they accept French people?
yeah, they also accept.
Yeah.
And you can get the smart card for free when you join, or you can buy one for 20 euros. And you can encrypt about everything.
Okay. Oh, there is a good step. A good step for security too. I think I have. Yes. Don't know if you know hard drive encryption. You have a flash key and you have the code here. And if you failed 3 times for the code, all is killed inside. That's really good. But don't put your boot partition on this because you can have problems. Yeah, question here? Up. More and more, I see that. Lots of people go to Reporter Without Borders to learn, but the problems is in journalism school. Because when you talk about security, they ask me to, sometimes I teach in journalism school for stuff like about internet, so for radio on internet, TV on internet and stuff like that. And when I talk about security, they say, good, yeah, you can do 1 day or 2 to talk about that. Yeah, in 1 day or 2 I can talk. But we can't do nothing. To learn how to encrypt emails, how to encrypt folders, encrypt messaging, and you need 1 week to have the basics. And just, oh no, that's too long. You can just make them play during 1 day, maybe 2, but 1 day is better because it's less expensive. And they don't see the problem. And I say, yeah, there is a problem. They say, oh, but they won't go to the war. Yes, I worked in regional newspapers before to go in foreign countries. I talk about regional problems. But even if you are in a little newspaper in a region, you meet political leaders, you meet people in squat, in hackerspace, so you have informations police need. And you are alone to have these informations. So even if you're working in a little newspaper in a region, you can have problems and you have to encrypt your data. And after that, I went to the war. But even if the students don't go to shitty countries tomorrow, maybe 1 day they will need all of that. And if you show them, they will know that exists. The problem is when you go in a journalist school, you don't know that exists. Today, they talk about Snowden. So now people know, but when I was younger, 12 years ago, when I began to work, I didn't know all of that exists. Yeah.
In order to support your point, we had a crypto party annual meeting of the Google Media Forum. There were 2,000 journalists attending this conference, and only 30 people showed up to our crypto parties, and even them did not install the stuff we offered them because they said it's way too complicated.
Yeah. One day, I went with I was invited with a freelance journalist to talk about security, like one evening, and I just thought, yes, there is a problem on your mobile phone. If you let your password for emails, that's a problem. If someone take your password, can read your emails, your professional emails. So that's a problem. And a girl looked at me like that, but you have to put your password every time. Yes. Yes. That's too difficult. Yes. But you have to choose between security and your face. Yeah, you can be good like that, but change your work. Don't be a journalist. Thanks to this girl. Yeah, another question? Speak strong.
Have you ever been forced, maybe in an airport or some border, to give out your passwords when they want to look on your machine? It's encrypted. Were you forced?
So when I'm traveling with plane, I have a, I don't know how you say in English. In French, you say image disc, like an ISO, yeah, to just have nothing, on my computer. And even I have a dual boot, Ubuntu and Windows. So if they try to, I will open to them the Windows when there is nothing inside. And when I was in Egypt, I encrypt all my folders and all my disk and everything with Arabic insult. And I was thinking and in Syria too, and I was thinking if they take me and just they beat me a lot, I will just say, okay, I give you my password, son of bitch. And the idea was to just, that's like social engineering. If I'm really, really bad and I give my password, they will think I insult them. And it was the idea. They never found me and took my computer, so. But yeah. But I don't want to try that. I don't know German insult. Maybe you can teach me for another time when I come back if I want to protect my data. Other questions? Yeah. Any fear about?
About this password being cracked by a wordless attack?
But I use numbers and stuff and big letters, little letters, and mixed all. I can teach you Arabic insult if you want to go to an Arabic country. No question? That's okay? Okay, so thank you.